Now let's see about algal bloom and red tide. What is an algal bloom? When the algae are being collected in a surface area and they are run off into the sea and other river water sources. Here the surface runoff from the fields, they are getting accumulated in the soil or the water, and they cause more amount of accumulation of the phosphates and nitrates, so that the water is rich in organic sources. So this rich organic source converts the full algal bloom, and this algal bloom accumulation is called as eutrophication. This eutrophication, it is a common pollution in the water areas. Next, about red tide. Red tide, it is caused by a dinoflagellate called Gonialax. Gonialax, it gets accumulated and cause red color to the water source. This red color source is toxic to marine fishes. We might have heard about Red Sea. The color of Red Sea is because of this dinoflagellate Gonialax. We all know about Protozoa, the class which consists of parasites, that is like ringworm, tapeworm and other parasitic pathogens. This Protozoa, it consists of 4 classes, namely one is Sarcodina, second one is Masticophora, third one is Ciliata, and fourth one is Sporozoa. Coming to class Sarcodina, it consists of contractile vacuole in all the protozoan species. The best example is amoeba. Amoeba, it causes the disease called amoebiasis. This causes like amoebic dysentery. When we eat fast foods like rice varieties and all those things, this amoeba gets infected, it causes amoebic dysentery. Second class is Masticophora. Here it is consisting of zooflagellata, namely they are inclusive of flagellated protozoa. This flagellated protozoa includes the Trypanosoma and Leishmania. Trypanosoma, it is a causative agent of African sleeping sickness, and Leishmania, it is a causative agent of Leishmaniasis. The third class is class Ciliata. Here comes the Paramecium. Paramecium, it is normally present in all the water areas. Next class is Sporozoa. Here also it is inclusive of Plasmodium. Plasmodium, it is a causative agent of malaria, and malarial infection, it can be caused by more than 4 types of Plasmodium species. Now let's discuss about heterotrophic plants. What is a heterotrophic plant? We know about autotrophs and heterotrophs. Autotrophs, it means the plants which can synthesize its own food, and heterotrophs, it depends on other food materials. For example, when a plant, it fixes atmospheric nitrogen and receives green light and sunlight and fixes photosynthesis, this is the process of autotrophy. And partially heterotrophic plants, it includes the insectivorous plants, and which can consume insects and a lot of pests. The best example would be Drosera, Articularia, Cuscuta and Nepenthes. Here the Nepenthes, it is also called as the pitcher plant. Kingdom fungi. What is a fungi? Fungi, usually it is present omnipresent. Let's see about the major classes of fungi. Before discussing about fungi, the best example for fungi is that when we buy a bread pack and keep it for 3 days unopened, we could see the black spores on the bread. This is a best example for fungi. And one more example is that it is the case of mushroom. The mushroom which we eat, that is the edible mushrooms, they also belong to the class fungi. The kingdom fungi, based on the mode of nutrition and reproduction, it can be divided into 5 classes. First one is Oomycota. Oomycota, they are aquatic, they are obligate parasites, and they produce oospores. Next one is Ascomycota. Here they are fully saprophytic. Saprophytic means they depend on dead matter, and they are also parasitic. They have the presence of Ascospores. Next group is Basidiomycota. Here they can be either parasitic or saprophytic. Here they are present with Basidiospores. Next class is Zygomycota. They are mostly parasites, and they are present with Zygopspores. And next class is Deuteromycota. It is also otherwise called as Fungi Imperfecti. Here they are only parasites, and this class doesn't have any sexual reproduction. Euglenoids. What are euglenoids? They are unicellular, flagellate, motile, free living in freshwater bodies. Their body is covered with proteins called pellicle. They are mostly photoautotrophic, that is, they derive light, and based on this light, they synthesize their own food. They have discoid or long radiating chloroplasts. This chloroplast is a main function for photosynthesis. And the product of photosynthesis out of the euglenoids, they are called as paramylon. And the asexual reproduction in euglenoids, it is by longitudinal binary fission. The best example for euglenoids is that euglena. Virus. What is a virus? A virus is a parasitic infective organism. This virus, it has been a menace for medical field scientists. Here, when we see about virus, it has either DNA or RNA. That is, they can be RNA viruses or DNA viruses. And basically, the central dogma of life is that from DNA, the RNA is synthesized, and from RNA, the protein is synthesized. But here, the RNA, it gets converted into DNA in the case of HIV infections because of an enzyme called reverse transcriptase. So, this virus, it poses a serious threat to the human life. Here it has, the virus, it has a nucleic acid core, protein coat, which is called as capsid, which inherently possesses capsomeres, that is the basic unit of capsid. The nucleic acid material, it can be either DNA or RNA. The deoxyribovirus, it consists of DNA as a genetic material. Ribovirus, it consists of RNA as genetic material. Reovirus is also an example for RNA containing virus. Retrovirus, it can be either DNA or RNA. With the help of a reverse transcriptase, it can convert RNA to DNA. And some of the diseases which is caused by viruses, it includes dengue, influenza, chickenpox, rabies and AIDS. The common cold which we get, it is because of the influenza virus. Now let's see some facts. Who is the father of Ayurveda? His name is Charaka. He introduced some Ayurvedic concepts to the mankind, and he wrote a book called Charaka Samhita. And in soil microbiology, there are two Russian scientists who were pioneers in the field. One scientist, his name is Behring. He identified the tobacco infection, it is caused by tobacco mosaic virus. He named this molecule as Contagium vivum fluidum, that later became the tobacco mosaic virus. The next scientist is Vinogradsky. The Vinogradsky is regarded as one of the pioneers in soil microbiology. He invented, based on various categories of soil layers, the individual accumulation of the microbial population. He also introduced a column called Vinogradsky column, by which the soil microbes can be enumerated. Next, the scientist who introduced the term species was John Ray. Whittaker's five kingdom concept. We earlier saw that binomial nomenclature was classified by Carolus Linnaeus. Later on, R.H. Whittaker, he classified the five kingdom concept. Basically, first kingdom is Monera, which includes bacteria and blue-green algae, which is also called as cyanobacteria. The next kingdom is Protista, which includes amoeba and euglena. The next kingdom is fungi, which includes the mushrooms and other eukaryotic parasitic fungi. The next class is Plantae, which includes plants. The next class is Animalia, which includes the multicellular animals. Chrysophytes. What are the classes which belong to chrysophytes? Namely, two classes are belonging to the realm of chrysophytes, that is, the organisms are, one is Diatom and the another one is golden algae. It is also called as desmids. These diatoms, as we earlier saw, it can be regarded as chief producers of ocean. And these microscopic floaters, they result in diatomaceous earth. This diatomaceous earth is nothing but accumulation on rocks over billion years, which can be used for polishing, filtration of oils and syrups preparation. So these diatoms, they are colorful organisms. They are widely useful for the marine community and also for the human nature. Slime molds. These class of slime molds, they are mostly saprophytic parasites and they belong to the protist community. They form aggregates, and these aggregates, they clump together to form a plasmodium. They release spores, and based on the suitable condition, the spores can germinate into the live organism. They are transmitted through air currents, and this dispersal of spores, they result in the accumulation of the slime molds in the environment.